Vaughn, new polling shows only about a quarter of the American public supports these strikes in Iran. And the president, of course, campaigned on America first and getting out of any kind of foreign conflict. How concerned is the president about public support?
Over the course of the last year, Anna, the president has really moved forward, not just domestically, but internationally, with policies that have sometimes run afoul of popular opinion across the American electorate. Yet what we heard coming out of his first administration were oftentimes regrets that he didn't take stronger actions against particular targets that he believed threatened the United States. And now what you're looking at here is an American president more than 1 year into his second term that has sent military strikes onto 7 different countries here at this point in time. He has threatened military action against the likes of Colombia and Greenland. Of course, he has threatened military land action against drug cartels in Mexico as well. And just on Friday, hours before moving forward with these strikes, the president was asked about any potential military action in Cuba, to which he said that he said very specifically that there could be a friendly takeover of Cuba. We could very well end up having a friendly takeover of Cuba. Marjorie Taylor Greene is just one of those voices that was a longtime backer of Donald Trump that has spoken out over the course of the last days, saying in part that it's always a lie and it's always America last. But it feels like the worst betrayal this time because it comes from the very man in the admin who we all believed was different and said no more. This is after 25 years of U.S. military efforts in the Middle East that led to the deaths of more than 7,000 American servicemen and women. More than 2 million Americans went and served in the Middle East over the last 25 years, and there were more than 7,000 that were wounded throughout those conflicts here. So there's a lot of questions as we await the president of the United States to address here the war in Iran. You're looking at Susie Wiles, his chief of staff. And there on the left is Dan Driscoll, the Army secretary. Also in the room is the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane. Anna.